What's up everyone, Space House here today. Welcome back to the video. Today we are back with another video right here. Oh, did you notice something very different today? Yes, I am basically testing out some things, as you can see. I'm trying out this new program called PNG Tuber Plus, where it basically does this little cool effect where each of the parts of your avatar basically bounce. And this actually took me 2 days to do it, so this was pretty something right there. Like, look at my character. Like, she bounced. I'm bouncing. Yeah, so this is still a work in progress right there, so it's not yet ready, because I still need to figure something out with the whole background scenario and everything. I don't really know how you get rid of that, but besides from that, I do hope that you like what you see right there. It was definitely a lot of fun that I did right there, and yeah, it was pretty cool to experience something new and whatnot here. But that's not what we're here for today. Today, we are doing something really fun. So, you all know about Hazbin Hotel, right? The show that basically everyone loves and hates at the same time. One of me is basically in the mixed bag on this show right there. I like the show, but I do definitely see some problems with it. It's not a perfect masterpiece, but I still definitely enjoy the content because it's for fun and whatnot here. But I definitely do notice the characters. Now we all know about our typical main characters such as Charlie, Vaggie, Angel Dust, Nifty, and Alistair. Of course, we already know who those peoples are, and we know some of the side characters too, obviously. That is not who we're looking for to this one. We're actually looking forward to someone, or some peepers, that are actually very unique than the main or the side characters, or even the recurring characters. They are background characters. Background characters are seen throughout the show, and they're very unique by their design and everything else. You've seen them from time to time, as they either are recurring background characters or seen just one time. I've actually grown to fall in love with most of the background designs of each of the characters. I just think that they're very unique, and it's definitely like the same kind of situation when you see like your favorite show and you notice the background characters of how amazing they look and you just instantly fall in love with them. Yeah, that's kind of the same situation as this one right here. So why am I making this video about this? Because today, I am going to be making some of the background characters if they were either side or reoccurring characters that have personalities, jobs, anything to come across here. Like basically making them into actual characters just for fun. Now, I have done that most of the time with some of the background characters that I see right there, but I'm only picking out 3 of my favorite designed background characters because I just really love them so much here. There's so much to choose from, so I don't really know which one's which I would even pick on. So, this is just a little fun little video that I did right there, and yeah, let's get on with our first character for today. Okay, so here is our first character for the video, and of course I have to pick this one because this one is my absolute favorite. So we got here this candy sinner that basically represents candy, obviously. You know, I'm a real sucker for candy-themed characters, and to see her, it's actually the first ever time that I actually see a sweet tooth-themed demon in this series so far. I mean, I know there are other food-based characters in there, but nothing like this one, of course. I also like that she also hangs around with this donut demon as well. That's really cute, obviously. So, for this one right here, I've decided to go a little bit extreme. Now, her design is already perfect enough, but if she were to be a recurring character or anyway a side character, I would like to give her much more detail than the other background characters. Usually background characters have more of a simpler design, while the others have a more complex designs, such as Charlie, Vaggie, etc., because everyone is incredibly different. Well, except for the fact that everyone is completely red, so I do actually appreciate that there are definitely still some characters that don't show a lot of red, especially with this girl right here. Also, a bit of a fun fact, like, I didn't even notice until, somebody actually mentioned that she actually did talk. Like, in one of the series' songs, basically when Charlie was welcoming everyone in the hotel, and everyone was clapping along with it, she basically actually did get a voice line. Now, a lot of background characters don't normally speak, but it's only on some occasions, on some of the characters. They do actually get a voice line each, but this girl, I did not expect her to actually talk until I saw this clip right there. Yeah, so it's pretty cool seeing that there are small little details like that that can actually give a character some, well, character. And for record, when I first heard about this, I didn't expect her voice to be like that. And yeah, it's really neat seeing that looking back on it, she did actually have a voice at some point. Now, given to how she sounds, I give a feeling that she probably is one of those preppy girls, most likely the Valley Girl vibe that she gives off here. So for this design, I decided to give her still her cozy, cute, pink, blue, and white feel, but I still kept in some touches of her, how she might be either a preppy Valley Girl or something like that. I even gave her hair too, because why not? I mean, I wasn't going to give her hair at first, but I just thought it would be a cute little idea to give her some little bit of charm to her character. I even added her donut best friend as well in the background, just like cheering her on. Like, she would probably be a supporting character for her. Now, what I think of her personality if she was a recurring character, I have a feeling that she's pretty sassy, but very sweet at the same time, even if she does have a sour vibe, honestly. Sweets cannot be deceiving when it comes to having a sour center in everything. So what she would be about is that she probably is a high schooler who basically was best friends with the donut girl, who I'm assuming were best friends till the very end, which is why they keep hanging out with each other in most of the scenes right there. And how I think they died was probably because of the overdosing on candy or something like that. Now, it's really unclear on how some of the demons died, but I'm guessing that it has something to do with relating like a sugar rush incident or something like that. Now, here's what I'm predicting. Two best friends who died together because they are both huge candy craving fans, who basically are just your typical high schoolers that basically cannot stop their sugar addiction. So with that case, they obviously died from overdosing on too much sugar, so that basically got them to hell in the first place. So now, how does that basically get them to hell exactly? Well, the sin of gluttony, obviously, because overdosing and consuming something uncontrollably does allow them to have the sin of gluttony. So that is why the both of them are basically food-related characters. And about their personalities, I would guess that the taffy girl right here, who I don't really know as to which name I'm deciding to guess here, but there are definitely a lot of good ideas on naming the characters, such as like either Candy, Candace, Taffy, or something like that. I decided to call her Taffy because I just feel it's a little bit more fitting. Taffy here was your typical high schooler who basically just, well, is very sweet on the outside, but then the inside, she's pretty sour. And the donut, who I don't really know as to who I should name her, I decided to call her Daphne because I just think Daphne is a cute name as well. She basically is the supporter, the best friend of Taffy, so the two of them are always sticking with each other, and they have been best friends till the very end, right there. And they have a very uncontrollable sugar addiction, obviously. So, nothing too special as I hoped for, but I still did have a lot of fun with this one here, and yeah, here is Daphne and Taffy. Alright, next character we have here is this glass demon-like character. Now, fun fact before doing this video, I've already did make a drawing of him before, but I wanted to go a little bit more deeper since I'm doing him as a recurring character thing. So for him, I've decided to give him more of a role that is pretty unexpected here. Now, if you don't know who he is, he basically shown up briefly in one of the other songs too, mostly Husker's solo right there, when he basically returned to his old casino, basically trying to have fun, but things go downhill, etc, etc. You know how things go with casinos and whatnot. So he basically shown briefly in one of the slides, so he didn't really have a prominent character designs, but only shown when he was playing around with Husk and whatnot here. But for him, I wanted to give him a much more complex storyline in this matter right here in the video. So what I did with him is that since he is super unique, like most of them so far has a very unique design, and him on the other hand, I do find him pretty cool because I don't really see a lot of like glass related demons around in the series except for like flashbacks. So I wanted to make him like if he was the current owner of the casino. You see, when Hus basically was dethroned from being an overlord because he has to basically sign a deal with Alistair, but by not basically having his soul be removed by Alistair, he basically has to come into the agreement to working for him, basically causing him from not only being the overlord, but basically losing his own casino. So it's basically a huge downfall, but who in the world basically is running the casino now? It's pretty unknown exactly as to who it might be, so that's where this glass demon comes in. Meet Ezria Jack Francesco, the current owner of Husk's once massive casino. Now he takes ownership of his own club. Long ago, when Husker was an overlord, Ezria was once working for him. He wasn't prominent from anything, like being in high class. He was actually a bartender for Husk. He used to serve drinks, and most notably, he wasn't really treated very well. He often gets bullied by a bunch of other employees for his status and his low-class manners. Even though he basically is a part of the casino, he wasn't treated so fairly by the other employees. Husk, on the other hand, does treat him with mutual respect, and Ezria does appreciate his level of kindness towards him. Even though he's an overlord, he wasn't like the other employees. But then one day, when Alistair came into the picture, Husk basically made a deal with him with cards. If he basically loses, his soul is his. But if Husker wins, well, you know how this whole thing goes, obviously. So of course, Husk loses, and he basically was going to give up his soul for Alistair, but basically promised to make another deal with him by enslavement instead. So he basically has to give up his ownership of the club and his position as an overlord. It was the hardest decision to make, really, but that didn't really stop him from anything because Ezria got his position because of Husker. So now Ezria got the ownership that he actually dreamed of getting. Instead of working as a bartender, he now works himself as the owner of the casino, finally getting the respect that he deserved and all the love and cherishments he so desired. And not to mention, he also does have a relationship as well. He actually got a chance to be in a relationship with one of the dancers, of course, and that would be this one right here. So the two of them were very mutual with each other at first, and she was actually one of the other people that actually treated Ezria some respect, instead of like calling him, well, either anything that the other employees did, basically rude comments behind his back. She was actually really kind and sweet towards him. and Ezria did develop a little bit of a small crush on her. And after basically taking ownership of the casino, they finally got into a relationship, and the two of them have been inseparable. So, seeing him with Huss together as they were pulling out drinks and whatnot here is kind of like a grand reunion, basically seeing his old friend back in the club that he once ruled over, now seeing as to how far he has come from a bartender to now being something that he can finally shine in his own way. Now, all that seems happy, right? Ezria got his dream job of being the owner of the casino, and everything is happy, right? Well, that's not always the case here. You see, him being the owner, he still has to put up with everyone underestimating him, saying that he's not good enough, and that he will always be a screw-up, just like his old job. Which, that obviously made Ezria trigger a little bit. Ezria still does have some envious thoughts surrounding the others, obviously thinking a lot of pretty not nice things surrounding the others that say a lot of stuff about him. Even if he finally got what he wanted and got his dream girl, he still has to put up with so much torment and bullying. So basically, he has to take a lot of extreme measures just to teach them all a lesson, to not underestimate him in any case scenario here. So he basically is both good and pretty sadistic at the same time here. He still has to do a lot of bad things in order to maintain his image, just for him to not be underestimated by others like he was back in the day. So that was Ezria Jack Francesco. I really did enjoy my time with him, and I really love the cape that I actually gave him, just to give him more of a difference with the other employees and the other characters that are in the casino. I also do love the little dancer that I did while she's just hovering over him. I decided to name her Anna, because I just think that she's an Anna to me. So that was this guy right there, and I hope you do enjoy him as much as I did with him. Ah, look at him, shining like the most beautiful sparkling piece of glass that you'll ever see in your night sky dreams. Alright, so far I have focused on Season 2 background characters. Now this one actually came from Season 1. I kind of broke a little bit of a rules here and there, but they still take place in the same series, so whatever. And also the same thing happening with the Hourglass Demon. I did draw her a few times before, so this is basically what I imagine her if she was a recurring character, or a side character, whatever. So she was one of the ladies that was around Val in the nightclub. She didn't really have too much going around besides her just sitting next to Val and whatnot here. But in my version of what she would be like if she was a side or recurring character, I decided to make her into the master of the nightclub. Now, it's already hinted that Zizi is basically the one who basically does the nightclub stuff here. I'm not really sure, but I would imagine her being the owner of the nightclub that she's in, primarily focusing on her always. She's this egotistical, preppy, and of course, the one that shines everyone on. This here is Virginia Stivwave. Oh, and shout out to one of the peepers that were really kind enough to actually name her for me, so thank you for that. She's the owner of the nightclub, and most notably, a demon that does not want to be messed around. Obviously, don't underestimate her good looks and everything. She is quite a punch. She will most likely take down those who aren't cool enough, and obviously she's as mean as Valentino is. She of course does have a gang of her own who basically follow her orders and follow her directions as she pleases. So in my mind, as her becoming a recurring character, I would imagine her basically wanting to become an overlord just like everyone else. That was her dream of having everyone follow around, that have everyone wrapped around her finger. Obviously, she's good with dancing, she's good with partying, and she's also good with testing and manipulation, gaslighting, etc., etc. So, she's a party girl, but she basically is the monster in the dance floor. Much like Valentino, she obviously does not let anyone forget who she is. She's quickly pretty demanding, pretty violent, dominating, and doesn't like when everyone basically teased her or let her down so easily. Now, I really wanted her to be based around on Valentino in Season 1, because Valentino does show a lot of pretty manipulative aggression when he doesn't get his way. And I still hate to this day of how they portrayed Season 2 with Valentino. I really wanted that vibe on Regina, since, I don't really want to make her like a carbon copy of Val, obviously. I wanted her motivation to be a lot different. She's not as strong as she makes out to be, but she will not let that make her feel down until she gets her way. Obviously, she's pretty petty in some cases here, but she is incredibly smart and knows when the right time it is, what right things she will say to make everyone feel down and make themselves feel worthless. And, well, being a party girl is obviously pretty hard to deceive and everything. So, and also, speaking of Regina and Val, I basically kind of paired them up together because I do definitely see a vibe they got here. And I kind of like the idea of basically having two main evil villain couple scenario vibes with them. Now, I know what you're all thinking. I know Val and everything else. The whole thing with this static moth thing. But the truth is, I really just don't care about that one right here. I just really don't like some of the canon ships they do in the series. So this is just for fun, and I just really like the vibe better, obviously. So yeah, here is Regina Stiffwave. I really like how she went, and I really enjoyed that I gave her more of a personality and more of an outfit choice than she had in her previous appearance. And I wonder what you think of her. And that's it! That is all the background characters that I have chosen for this video, making them into side/recurring characters. Man, this was such a fun video, and it gives so much ideas that I had for each and every one of these things. Like, it's just so much fun just to give these background characters some personality or what they could have been as characters themselves. I just really enjoyed as to how they are in their results and how they look, and I hope you did enjoy this video that I have created just for fun. So that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to go subscribe to my channel, give it a lot of likes, dislikes, or anything, or trust like me. And if you have a favorite for this video, let me know in the comments down below. And if you'd like to see more of this, you may comment down below and give me all your best ideas as possible, if that's alright with you all. Anyway, for now, that's gonna be it. So, yep, better be going now. Bye, guys. Yeah, bye.